That was easy. The last time I was here, I didn't leave myself prepared to have a fire as soon as I came in. I didn't have my splits done. I didn't have kindling here ready to go. So it slowed me down a little bit, but not much. You know, that was like 3 minutes with splitting, and I'm ready to go. Today, I'm using this bucket of sawdust shavings mixed with a bit of oil. And I'm going to put that in. And first I'm going to lay my base. There we go. I'm going to lay my oil. A couple of scoops. Okay. Let's see how she goes. Now I'm going to cover the top to reduce the amount of smoke coming in. That's going to darken everything. Okay. Here we go. Let's see. See what happens. I love that. One match and good to go. So it's currently minus 23, maybe minus 24 in the tent, and that's Celsius, and that's right around minus 10 Fahrenheit. Today I brought my Jackery. This video is not sponsored by Jackery or anything, but I'm happy to bring it. I have worked with them in the past, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to put it to use. This unit here only operates minus 10 Celsius and above. So that's why I'm elevating it, and I'm going to allow for the heat of the stove to get to it. I wouldn't say it's down below minus 10 within the battery itself right now, because, well, it's minus 20 now in the tent. It's warmed up a few degrees. This thing just came from my house, and it was in the box in some styrofoam. So, plus I brought my battery for my battery operated chainsaw and the charger. So I'll be able to plug in the charger to this and charge my battery. I think that will chew up quite a bit of the available power that's in this, but whatever. And I also brought a new chain for that. So there's quite a bit of cutting that I want to get done and get myself set up for the next few days, next few trips that I'm going to be out here. And I'm going electric because I have one of these. So yeah. So like I said, not sponsored or anything like that, but I have it, so I might as well use it. I really want the electric chainsaw to be a success out here, because at home when I use this thing just cutting wood at the house, it is a success. It's very good. Whoa. I got a mess in there. This chain is, I've had it a couple of years on this saw. I did sharpen it the last time I was here. Oh, and by the way, I know that the way I sharpened my chain the last time really bothered a lot of people. Because when I was sharpening it, I can get the chain out here now. I don't have my sharpener with me. But what I was doing was I was going with and against the grain. With and against the grain. And, or I've got, there we go, this one, yeah. So I go with it and against it. With it and against it when I was sharpening the teeth. And I got called out on that hard. I was told, look, you got to go one direction and that's it. Now for me, I learned a few years back when sharpening a knife. Now this could be wrong too. I learned it from a chef that you can sharpen a knife that way. You can go against the grain when sharpening a knife. And so I do that. I'll push it down against and then I'll come up. And what I've learned from that is, man, my knives are sharp at home from doing that. And I don't sharpen them all the time. And it just really works. I find it better than going with the blade. So I figured that would apply to a chainsaw chain. And I have on my Husqvarna gone against the teeth, like against the grind on the teeth. And that thing, I find it works. I just find it works, but maybe it could work better if I just went with the teeth. Oh man, it is devouring that wood. That is great news. Now this guy's pretty long. I think I'll just cut off just a little bit and the rest can go in the stove. Wow, like nothing. Let's see how much I can cut with one battery. I literally just cut all of my wood on one battery. I cut 3 times as much as I did the last time I was out here using that electric chainsaw. And look, it's a quiet machine. It just needs oil, and all I need to do is charge it. And it needs a good chain. The chain on it was done for, and it killed the battery. This stuff, I mean, it just cut through it like butter. There's quite a bit of, I have all my wood is cut. And so I have to say, I'm very happy with that. And I will be bringing my power station, the big battery there with me throughout the winter. So I just feel like that is a good bet for me. I know that gas chainsaws are the best, and the one I have is excellent. It's a great chainsaw. But when I'm out here, I love using that electric chainsaw when it does work like this. When I was using my electric chainsaw last time, and I sharpened it poorly, as I already talked to you guys about, I was essentially, my chainsaw was just throwing dust. But this stuff here, it's nice big chunks of sawdust. And you can tell that that chain was just hungry to eat it. So, yeah, what a difference that makes. And I have to say, the next time I sharpen my chainsaw, I'll go along with the grind. And hopefully it produces sawdust like this. I have a feeling it's going to definitely suck some juice out of this Jackery. It's a big battery. Something doesn't like something. I think. There we go. It might be because the battery was cold it made that weird sound. The Jackery definitely isn't cold. There we go. Charging. And right now it's drawing about 370 watts. So it'll be interesting to see what one of those batteries takes away from the Jackery. The battery just finished charging. It took about 15 to 20 minutes. Oh, it kicked in again. So as you guys can see, that 80-volt battery for the chainsaw drained 11% of the Jackery battery. These branches, I got them, well, I got them now, but they, remnants, they're remnants from the last time I was out here cutting down trees. So I'm going back for it, not leaving a mess in the bush, and these are gonna start an awesome fire for outside tonight. Now, I didn't put a base down with this, so I don't know if this is going to hold. There's a good chance that's going to go out. Come on, baby. Let's see. I want the really thin stuff. See if I can hold this fire. Oh. Seems to be going okay. I'm going to go big here. This might be an issue. Don't want to put it out. Okay. Pretty good. See if we can hold this flame. Not bad. This is the kind of guy I want right here. I'm going big here now. There we go. There we go. That's what we want. Let's get her going. I'm gonna make some wedges with gravy today. I love cooking these things out on the fire, but they take twice as long. Right here on the grill, or on the propane stove, it's nice. And they cook really hot, which is what you need. Look at the size of that thing. And look at all that fat. Oh, yes. That's going to be good. And I'm cooking it over a flame right now, instead of just a nice bed of coals. And I have a feeling that fat's going to get this fire going even better. Oh, baby. Oh my gosh, that's good. It did not take long at all. Oh, spilled some grease. Wow. A little bit of burnt part, but that's okay. That's actually really good. Juices come through that now, soak in all that spice. Oh yeah. Turn that down. Oh yes. Look at that. Amazing. Oh yeah. Put some of that on that pork chop too. Oh, wow. Look at that. Gotta put some pepper on it. For sure. Love pepper. Salt. Giver. This is going to be good. Okay. Oh yeah. Deadly. Wow. So I just found out that I'm going to be selling that other tent and stove to somebody in town. I told them that, you know, the tent's got some troubles. It's got a bit of mold around the bottom, and the stove is fine. And yeah, I mean, I'm giving it to them for pretty cheap. So tomorrow, that means I'm tearing that tent down tomorrow. And it's going to be really cool to see that place without a tent on it, because the tent has been there forever. And I'm excited. I mean, I'm getting close now. I'm getting close to bringing my Russian bear tent over there. And I have, at this point, this time of making this video, I have received almost all of the tent. The tent comes in multiple packages. And so it's not all here yet, but soon. And that means it's going to be a cool new adventure over there. And I got to say, like, it's going to be a little bit scary for me, because this tent here, you feel really well protected. And I'm sure like a wolf could get in if it wanted to. A wolverine could get in no sweat. Maybe like a pine marten could get in no sweat. They could figure it out pretty easily, I'm sure. But wolves, you know, something that could eat me. A wolverine could eat me if it killed me. It would probably chew me up real good. But and there are wolverines out around. But yeah, so having just, you know, it's a double walled. It's almost, I guess it's like a nylon material tent. And apparently they're really warm because they're double walled. So I know that sleeping in that tent I'm going to feel more exposed, for sure, for sure, for sure. And because there are wolves out around this lake, not all the time, but I see tracks. I haven't seen any yet this year, which is great, but oftentimes I'll see tracks going to the island. And last year there was a night when I could hear a wolf just howling its way right across the lake. So that was pretty freaky. So if I'm just in like a small, nylon tent like that, knowing that wolves are around, it's going to be exciting for me. It's going to be a bit of an adrenaline rush. Who knows, maybe I'll feel really comfortable and just sleep well. But I have a feeling it's going to be a good test for me. It's getting me closer to becoming, a real northerner, someone who can do things out in the wild and feel confident. And so I feel confident here in this because I'm really well set up. But how will I feel when I'm just in that nylon tent? It's gonna be good. Yeah, so early to bed tonight, and tomorrow's gonna be a good day. There's lots to do, so lots of rest is needed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Can't sleep, so I'm just watching a documentary on my phone, and I'm gonna load the stove here for a bit. So pulling the coals towards the front of the stove is always a good idea, because when I close it, the wind is directly hitting the coals. And so when I put wood on top, it's just forcing that heat and that fire through the fresh wood and sucking the smoke out the chimney. Now I just split a bunch of wood. And this stuff is a little bit wet, but with that heat, because it is roasting hot coming out of there now, this stuff should go up really nicely for the next little bit before I can fall asleep. Well, good morning. It's cold in here. It's pretty darn cold, I have to say. It's just above 0 degrees Celsius. And I slept hard last night. I slept hard. I slept good. I had that one moment where I got up and put wood on the stove at like 5 a.m. And then I stayed awake for maybe like 40 minutes or so. And just, when you wake up and you do so much activity, just woke myself up. So I stayed awake for a bit, and then I started warming up by the stove again because the stove had gone down pretty good. And then it got hot and cold, and it's like you open up the door to let cold air in. Anyway, I did sleep good though. I slept maybe 9 hours last night, which is a lot of sleep. And this morning I'm making, it's a package deal because that's how I work. I don't get too fancy, especially out at camp. But I'm gonna make oatmeal chocolate chip, like little loaves, little baby loaves. As you guys can see, I've got a couple of bricks in here, and that's to help keep the stove from having such direct, intense heat. It'll warm up these bricks and it'll evenly distribute the heat. I've burned some food in this thing more than once, so it'll be a good test. I think I'm going to cook this stuff on low and see what happens. I know the texture I'm looking for. Wow, 4 is perfect. Okay, so this recipe calls for 400 degrees, 18 minutes. And I'm at 350 now. And I'm actually going to turn it down, because I've learned that the temperature gauge on this is not super accurate and that this stove burns hot. One, two, three. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm getting 4 in there like that. Nope. Okay. Push him over like that. Go like that. There we go. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, these guys are perfect. Definitely have to keep the temperature down in this oven. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, yes, yes, that's a way to start the day right there. Look at that. It's a little bit hairy coming up here. This is the first time I made it up. I've been parking down on the lake. I tried to come up here a few weeks ago and I spun out on a rock and I had to pull myself back down and I gave up on it. Today I came at it and I hit it hard. I did a couple of loops, try to get a good trail established, but there is a rock there that's a bit slippery. I'm happy I can have the snowmobile up here though. It's going to make my life a lot easier, and now the work begins. I'm tearing this baby down. I'm here for 2 minutes and already I've run into an issue. These guys have drilled their chimney together, and I just put mine together. I just like insert them, and once they heat up they expand and they hold really tight. But I don't have my drill with me. I just didn't bring a screwdriver or a drill with me this trip because I didn't think I'd need it. This tent is like half the height of mine. This frame is really old. Still doing well. There's lots of coat hangers or wire being used here to hold things up. Lots of it. So, and they twisted it good. I gotta get this off. Okay. Okay. Man. I wonder, what's the chance they have a screwdriver here? Okay. Candles. Mouse trap, yep. Need that. A lot of this stuff can just go in the garbage. Now there's a box underneath. Oh. Blankets. Is this sheets? Okay. Yeah, just blanket. Figured it out. I brought my Leatherman, and these guys aren't in super tight. And I can just pull it out. There we go. The value of a multi-tool. If I remember correctly, there's an old axe in here. A little hatchet. There it is. Pretty heavy. Sometimes these guys are on pretty tight right here. That was easy. This futon frame is still in really good shape. I don't know how I'm going to put it to use though, because it's too low to the ground for me, and it would take up so much space in the tent. This is the shortest broom I've ever used. This stuff is going to be exposed now for a little while. It's fine. And I'll come back. I'm taking the tent with me and the stove. And the next trip I come back, I'll take even more out. And I'll bring a drill for sure. and get this frame off. See if I can get the Russian bear tent on. I can't wait for that to show up. It's going to be awesome. And my only concern is if there are mice still hanging around, I'm sure they'd love to go into that tent as well. So I don't want to bait mice because they might just come from all over. I'd like to have it set up so they just don't want to be around here at all, as opposed to baiting and killing them, trapping them. So that's it for this video. If you guys liked it, please hit the like button. That would mean so much to me. And subscribe if you already haven't. And if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, that'd be great. If not, that's fine. I'm just glad that you watched. So yeah, that's it for this one. I'll be back really soon.